In our philosophy, Five Gateways, we've detailed the 5 key transitions taking place within this great 5D shift. It's a progressive inner journey of expansion, reflected into the outer world. As we peel away layers of negativity through conditioned behaviors, the journey leads increasingly to a sense of expansive, mystical, internal positivity. For some considerable time, this new energy has struggled to make headway in the 3D world, which is fighting to control ever-dwindling natural resources. But now the shift to the higher flow is liberating energy from the lower paradigm. As long as we align ourselves with the journey of self-realization, and the quiet inner voice, then increasingly, we'll find all our needs are met. Light separating from the dark. Anyone on the path would be forgiven for thinking how dark things seem to be around us right now. We still see the old paradigm of have and have not, winner and loser, profit and loss, in seemingly ever greater technicolor. We see countries struggling and fighting with one another to control ever-dwindling natural resources. We see greed, manipulation, and selfishness reaching epidemic proportions, which stems from the very leadership down. There are more and more people on the planet with less and less land with which to house and feed them. It would be easy to get sucked into a negative attitude about it all. But when we truly connect to higher consciousness by going inwards and then peeling away our own distortions, then we open a space where higher truth can flood in. Once you release yourself from the struggle for some kind of 3D supremacy, then you notice the energy field conspiring around you to furnish the resources necessary to fulfill your true mission here, the revelation of you. Take heart. Everything around us consists of a quantum soup of energy, connected by threads of consciousness. Previously, this soup was dense and thick here in the 3D, with the higher light finding it hard to make headway. But now it is thinning as the consciousness shifts into the higher vibration. Yes, there are still plenty of lumps and goo, but if we keep trusting in the higher flow that we can feel in our hearts, then we'll start to draw manifesting energy to us, to support the shift into the higher paradigm. So keep moving, keep progressing as a being, keep expanding internally, then you'll be moving in exactly the right direction, you'll prosper greatly from the energetic shifts now commencing. Supported by a higher dimensional benevolent army of consciousness. It is frequently said within the spiritual mainstream that our reality is shaped by our thoughts, and that if we could think positively, then we would change our world for the better. Plenty of approaches would have us envisage a new, more desirable reality that we might want. I'm reminded that there's always truth within the distortion. Yes, to me, there is a more desirable reality that we can manifest, but it is not one that comes from the lower mind. It is not one based on a subtle sense of lack. It is not one of material want and greed. It is a truly grand design that is already being shaped by the universe, one which serves all in it, not just the lucky few. The earth is surrounded by a benevolent army of higher dimensional beings, who are all working the field to make the great 5D shift as smooth as possible. It's an incredible feat. We have to move a severely outdated reality, with billions plugged into it, progressively to a much higher vibration, in a short period of time. It's being done as gently, but as firmly as possible, so as to hold the window open for the most number of souls. One of the key things we're doing in the open hand work to support this shift, is reconnecting people with their soul families, holding the higher aligned vibration. At a soul level, it reminds you more who you are, and naturally brings you into alignment with the higher flow, as a way of living. I often feel living here is like constantly passing through the eye of a needle. All around you are people living the old ways and telling you the direction of your heart is wrong, which tends to highlight any internal doubt, fear, or disbelief. You have to work through these, trusting your heart knows the path, and opening out through any contractions. You have to work to trust that the universe is guiding you to the place and the circumstances that are perfect for your continued unfolding. The metaphor of passing through the eye of the needle can help us greatly in the day-to-day circumstances of our lives. We have to understand that we're currently living in two worlds, not one. You could look at the circumstances of your life and see only the 3D, which includes the trials and tribulations just to make ends meet. In which case, because the energy is now fast draining away, there will never be enough. If however you change your perspective to seeing all circumstance as a teaching to help embody a higher degree of consciousness, then you'll not only open up more, but channel the new creative energies through your being. So the flow will draw you into your lessons, which if you don't avoid, will likely contract you down. You'll feel this emotionally in your relationship situations, mentally in your work, and physically in the general circumstances of your life. See these contractions as the signposts on the path. You're heading in the right direction. You now just have to work to let go and expand out through them by embodying the higher light. It's the continual confrontation of the tightening situations in your life, in your careers, your relationships, and general living circumstances, then opening out through them that defines the path into the higher paradigm. Miraculous manifestation. It's not just about letting go. Of course, great importance has been placed on the spiritual philosophy of letting go, in order to align with the higher dimensional flow. Yes, I agree, it is necessary to let go of needing to control life, particularly here in the 3D, it's necessary to let go of the need for a particular outcome. But sometimes I observe this leads to a quasi-state of denial in some spiritual people. It's like they sometimes use it as an excuse not to do anything at all, because everything is perfect. To me this is to confuse absolute and relative truths. In the absolute, yes, everything is perfect, however in the relative, within our lives and the great 5D shift, there is a higher harmony of existence that the soul is yearning for. To deny this is to deny our very reason for being. The universe itself is constantly manifesting through creative expression. When we allow it to, when we open up to it, higher dimensional consciousness will manifest boundless opportunity through us. But again, here's where I find it a bit like passing through the eye of the needle. You feel the higher flow wanting to come through, yet still, all around you, it feels like a wall of resistance. There's every reason why not to align with that consciousness. Thought and feeling are highly creative in this higher vibration, so if we let the doubters and naysayers influence us, then sure enough, we'll find ourselves without the necessary power to bring the divine manifestation to fruition. We have to trust in the guidance we're receiving, then positively reach out, and step into the new creation. You have to commit spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. If you grasp at the helium balloon, it will always be just out of reach. But you still have to step positively in the direction of your creative higher vision, and reach out to meet the balloon in order to realize it. Manifesting from beingness. So the real key to being a positive force for change in the world is not trying to manifest some kind of creation by yourself that is separate from the natural flow, from the divine. It is to manifest your unique way of being by making space for it to arise naturally from within. When you do so, new possibilities and opportunities will unfold before you, together with the relevant resources to fulfill your mission. Here are 7 ways you can maximize and harness this effect. Stay open and light. Work internally to let go of the need for a particular outcome. Innovate through outdated behaviorisms that keep you locked in an old reality. Let your life take on more flexible spontaneity. Explore, inquire, be curious about possibility. Let intention surrender into attention, allowing your consciousness to be spiked by spontaneous knowings and the heartfelt pull. Always respond to the intuitive impulse to act, then its beneficial effect will grow in your life. Notice visions and thoughts landing about the direction to take, or the act of creation to embark upon, but always look for a new aspect of higher beingness, your highest truth, that is wanting to reveal itself as you follow this pathway. Watch for your path being lit up by signs and synchronicity. Be prepared for this to also reveal negative patterning as it highlights your distortions. It may take you constantly into repetitive conditioned behaviors. If you're unsure what you're being invited to do, Ask Show Me of the Universe, then watch attentively. You'll be shown either a distortion to break through or an aspect of beingness to express. This dynamic leads to right action choices. Maintain a positive mental attitude. Even if you run into blockages, find an active way to break through them. Be prepared for the flow to then shift in direction. The stream can have many paths to the ocean. Step positively forwards along the pathway that is clearly revealing itself. Even if this is against those around you, society and the masses. Celebrate in right action, felt as an expansive freedom. Reach out and take the necessary resources that manifest to fulfill your mission. Go in the direction of your passion. The most fulfillment, success, and abundance at a soul level will be attained when you're aligned with your soul's passion in life. If you're not yet sure what that is, then explore what really interests you. What gets you out of bed in the morning? What are you doing when hours slip by and you hardly notice? Your passion will be at the intersection of these heartfelt interests, and can be simply stated, to facilitate the great 5D shift. Keep looking, keep exploring, keep inquiring. Do not settle for less. Let your passion well up from within, and no obstacle will stand in your way. It could be in the simple things of life, doing the school run, the housework, writing an article on a blog, helping someone in need. When we focus on revealing beingness in our lives, then the universe will always manifest some kind of vehicle for that expression to shine forth. It is absolutely inevitable. We just have to be open, awake, and aware of the opportunities continually presenting themselves. With that in mind, we recorded this liquid gold meditation some time ago, which you can download to your desktop or play here online for free. Go for it. Make your life truly miraculous. Open. Editor's note. I put links to Open's liquid gold meditation and also the 5 gateways philosophy he mentioned in the article, down in the description box below this video.